Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Real Estate with Garrett Maroon. I'm excited to talk to you today about a pretty common question that I get, which is how much of the sale price do I get? So, when we're working with the seller, of course, you want to know when I sell a home, how much am I going to actually make? And that's a truly important question that honestly, unfortunately, a lot of people misunderstand. Many people believe that if they owe $300,000 on their home and they can sell it for $305,000, that they're actually going to make $5,000. So I want to clear up for you what the true cost to sell a home is, and therefore how much you might actually make on your sale. It's common for a seller, let's start here. It's common for a seller to pay between 7 and 10% of the total purchase price to sell their home, meaning if you sell a home for 300,000, it's likely to cost between 21,000 and $30,000 to sell, and then whatever is left over is your profit, right? So here's how the numbers actually break down and how much of the sale price you get, understanding the typical costs. The biggest expense is the real estate agent commission, which is depending on where you are in the country and in our market in Hampton Roads, Virginia, it's typically 6% of the total purchase price. 3% of that goes to the agent who helps you sell. 3% of that goes to the agent who helps the buyer and brings the buyer to buy your home. Now, it seems like a very hefty amount, and I can certainly respect that. But keep in mind, you are hiring a professional to protect your largest financial asset in the world, and that deserves a qualified, well-paid professional. Just make sure that you get a good one. If you don't know a good one, ask a friend or call us. We'd be happy to help you. As I say, if you were going to be writing a check for $300,000 and you're about to invest it somewhere, you would want a really good financial advisor to help you in that process. And they will take a percent of what you invest, right? But you would want to find the best one possible. Find a good qualified real estate professional. Second, termite and moisture repairs. In Virginia, you're required to provide a clear termite and moisture letter for a buyer before they can get a loan. Any required repairs by that termite and moisture company will have to be done. Okay. Any required repairs have to be done. Now that's capped at 1% of the price. I know there's a lot of percentages and numbers, but that cost that is required to be done by the seller is capped at 1%. But it typically runs between $500 and $1,000. It can be higher or lower than that. But I'd say on average, it's about $500 to $1,000 is what we often see. The third significant cost is the home inspection repairs. Once the buyer gets their home inspection done, there's another round of negotiating any repairs that a buyer might want done in order to move forward on the purchase of your home. Again, these could be much higher or lower. They could be non-existent, but I would say on average, what I see, the cost is typically ranges from $500 to $1,500, right? Totally depends on the condition of the home, but I'd say that's pretty average in our area in Hampton Roads. Number four, seller closing costs. So you have your own costs to sell your home beyond just these other expenses. And these are going to encompass the cost of your lawyer who draws up all your paperwork, any uncollected real estate taxes, any HOA dues that you may still owe, anything like that is going to be a cost that you pay at closing, your own closing costs, typically 1,000 to 1,500. And then finally, buyer's closing costs. As part of the contract negotiation, the buyer can request that a seller cover some or all of their own closing costs. Now, that typically hovers around 3% of the overall price. So that's a big expense that, of course, if you can avoid for us as helping sellers, we're going to try to negotiate that down as much as possible. If you can avoid paying buyer's closing costs, you're going to save a lot of money. Again, that is typically around 3% of the overall price, also negotiated. So the truth is, as you ask the question, how much of the sale price do I get? The cost can honestly vary a lot. A good real estate agent is going to prep you ahead of time and then give you updated numbers once you receive an offer. For example, for us, when we are talking to someone at the very beginning, we're sending them, this is your estimated net. This is what I think you will make based off what I think you will sell for and what you owe, right? Unfortunately, I hear of a lot of agents who will not even tell their sellers and they don't even know what they're paying for. So make sure you're getting numbers up front and you know what the costs are. Then for our team, once we receive an offer on your home, we're going to give you another updated net sheet. At the end of the day, what matters is how much you're going to walk away with. We want to know as accurately as we can. And some of the stuff we won't know that early, but we want to know as accurately as we can. What are you going to walk away with? Some of the cost is fixed, like commission, but others vary. So again, you want to make sure you have a good cushion for the sale. Once those fees are paid that I mentioned, home inspection, seller closing costs, buyer closing costs, termite and moisture repairs, and agent commission. Once those are paid, you will pay off any remaining balance on your current mortgage, and the rest is your profit. So to wrap it all up, let's say you owe $250,000 still on your home, and you sell your home for $300,000. Let's say it costs you 10% total to do that, to sell your home. Your net profit is $20,000. Again, it's just math, but it's a lot of numbers, and I understand it can get confusing. So if you have other questions or want to explore further, reach out to us, and we would be happy to help you further or explain the process or give you updated net sheet or anything like that on your home. We would love to help. Reach out to us if you're in Hampton Roads, Virginia. Thanks so much for listening. I hope that helps as you try to understand how much of the sale price will you get when you sell your home.